Antonino, I think what I'll do is dive right into your question of like, generating leads coming in. I think for me, this was twofold. I'm not naturally someone who is very comfortable in front of the camera. So to me, BombBomb was a really good like stepping stone, even, and this is kind of looking big picture, right? Because I've made a commitment to doing more like Instagram video, and I'm even thinking about like dabbling with TikTok because I hear it's getting a lot of traction out there. And yet, if I'm terrified to put myself on video at all, how am I ever going to do that, on a big scale where anyone in the world can see it, right? So BombBomb for me has been a really great stepping stone. It's also, I'm not inherently someone who loves just being like, the chatty Cathy on the phone with people. So if there's a message that I can communicate, I realize like sometimes text is like, you can lose a lot in a text. Would you agree with that? The intonation of someone's voice, things like that. And so for me, video became kind of a really great way to personalize some of my messages out to clients or out to prospective clients. So for bringing leads in, I'll get to some ideas on how we could do that as well. But let's say I already had a lead come in. I connected with them. We had a great conversation on the phone, and we've scheduled a buyer consult. What I will do is then I go into my BombBomb system, and if we wait 1 second here, I'm going to see if I can share my screen and show you guys. I am not the host, so I'm disabled on screen sharing. So we'll circle back to that unless Christina is on and can give me that ability.
I think I just did.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Karen. So I am going to show you hands-on example of what that might look like. Pull up the screen. I think we're good there. So everyone's seeing my BombBomb platform with 4 tips to move with pets and all these different things here. So Andy and Kayla, I connected with them. They actually came in as a referral from another agent. I spoke to them over the phone. We agreed to set up our buyer consult. And then what I wanted to do was just, really cement in that relationship. So I just sent them this quick 46-second message.
Hey, Andy and Kayla, hope you are enjoying the rest of your meal at Egan and Son. Just wanted to say it was great meeting you guys today, and I'm really excited to be getting the home buying journey started. So as promised, check below. You're going to find some links to your home tracking sheet, a digital copy of the home buyer's guide that we talked about in person today a little bit. And again, just some useful information for you guys. Keep an eye out. You are going to see another email from me come through. That'll be your MLS search, and you'll start to see those homes coming in regularly moving forward. So again, I'm just super excited to be getting you guys started on your home search and getting you one step closer to home ownership. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
So just as a quick example there, what that did was, again, just more personal follow-up. If you saw at the end, this popped up, the thinking of buying or selling, which for me is an embedded way to then have my website pop right up. So it's a call to action, because I think one of our keys here, right, is generating leads and again, cementing the leads that we already have into our kind of ecosystem. So I don't want them feeling like they have to go work on Zillow to search for homes. I want them living in my ecosystem, and that's one way to get them funneled over to my website. I also then put links down here to like my home buyer's guide, the home tracking sheet that I use with clients so that they're able to keep track of homes. Again, they're likely going to go look on Zillow no matter what I do. So if they do see something on Zillow, rather than them texting me or emailing me, I just want them to simply go put that home on the home tracker sheet, and then I'll go to the MLS and find out the info on it. So that's kind of cementing the lead. And what I would say in terms of generating business from this, the key is that this is one piece of my business plan in communicating with my database. Give me 1 second to just kill the screen share here. Okay, stop share. So big picture, how many touches are we supposed to have with our database throughout the year? Did I see 36, Debs? So it used to be in the MREA 33 touches. I got the sign language down. We're good there. It used to be 33 touches was like the magical number. And in the revised, MREA that is maybe one of these days coming out, but they've started to adapt some of the new models out of it already, is we should be communicating with our Met database 36 times throughout the year. And that is something that, do you feel very comfortable doing that? Like, do you have a plan for how you're going to touch them 36 times? So if you want to unmute yourself, Antonino, I'm curious, like, how do you touch your database currently?
I basically set up a calendar, and then I mark down who I call, when I call, and I set up a calendar for either 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then I take it from there.
And how are you touching them? Like the 36 touches, what does that look like?
It's all calls. I thought I make better connections making a phone call versus a text.
Okay. And I'm curious, so how many people in your database?
Just on Facebook alone, I try and communicate with about 2,000.
2,000. Do you?
Total I have over 4,000 connections on Facebook alone.
How about outside of Facebook, that really the core group that you are actually picking up the phone and calling? And are you calling them 36 times throughout the year?
Yeah.
So 3 times a month, basically on average, that group of people is getting a two-way communication.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Yeah. And of that core people, honestly, it's about 150.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say that it would seem to be pretty difficult to do that with like a scalable 1,000 or 2,000 people. And so going back to that idea of people, systems, and tools, to me, BombBomb is one of the tools that allows me to grow my database and grow the number of people that are able to be touched 36 times. Because like my core database is about 435 people now. And what I found as it started to grow was that as much as I systematically was trying to pick up the phone and do the phone call and purposely text those people, if there wasn't a certain amount of automated steps in those 36 touches, it just wasn't going to happen. And so I know a lot of people send out email newsletters, or they might send out a physical newsletter. For me, again, it was just that, using video to be a little bit more personable with people so that they felt like they were getting that, actual seeing me once a month. And BombBomb has a system called Prompt, which basically curates an email for me once a month that's topical to the season or topical to what's going on in the market. And then I just simply have to go in there, record a quick video. And one of the things that I do at the end of each video is just remind people of, hey, the market is really crazy. I'm working with X number of buyers right now, and we, are always looking for opportunities to put them into a great home that might not be on the market yet. So who do you know that might be thinking of selling? And I'm always asking for referrals at the end of those videos. So that's one way to generate some business out of using this platform. So any questions up to this point, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you use the BombBomb videos within Command? Is there any way? I'm new to KW, so I'm just wondering, and I'm really diving into Command and I love it. So I'm wondering if there's any functionality where you can.
So I am hoping that they fully integrate it at some point. Right now, what I use PySync, which is one of the tools that we have within Command to be able to connect outside vendors such as BombBomb into Command. It doesn't allow full integration in terms of being able to do a video email directly through Command yet. But I have seen on some of the Facebook groups people mentioning like kind of like hacks or workarounds where you can record your video in BombBomb and then pull that video into something that you're sending out through command. It's just, if I'm being fully honest, it's not fully integrated yet.
Okay.
The nice thing that I do have set up though with that PySync connection is that one of the banes of my existence has always been like, how the heck do you keep like up with your databases if they're in different places, right? If you've got people in your phone and people in command, and then you're also trying to make sure you keep things up to date over here on BombBomb, PySync kind of ties all three of those things together for me in a really nice way, so that now when I meet a new client, I put them in my phone, they're automatically pulled from my phone right into command. I can even have command go ahead and tag them, and then based on that, they'll get shot over to BombBomb. So it's a really nice system in terms of making sure your databases across those different platforms are staying current.
Very cool. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for the question. So Debs, I want to dive into your question about like rate of return. And I think this is one of those things where it is a little bit of like, it's tough for me to completely pinpoint what it is that is the driving force behind some of the business that I've generated out of my database. And yet I know for a fact that this being one of those touches that I use with my database is a reason why my database continues to be the biggest source of my business. I'm sure I could remove BombBomb and replace it with some other touch. And yet for me, I think like, so basic BombBomb, just to give you guys some idea of like pricing on it. And before we wrap up, I'm also going to give you some alternative video platforms that I've seen out there that are cheaper. I just don't know whether they function to the level of BombBomb. But I think basic BombBomb is like $50 a month. So if you are bringing that on, what I would say is just like any tool in this business, right? Like who here has been to like mega camp or family reunion? Raise their hands here. Although I see we don't have many people actually on video. And what is it like walking into that vendor hall when you've got like everyone telling you why their platform and their piece of technology is going to be the thing that just rocket ships your business to that next level, right? Like it's inundated. And I always remember the first time I went to mega camp, I was there as a recruit, and this other guy who had just joined KW was walking around the vendor hall with me. And no joke, I think he committed to about $2,500 a month worth of new things that he subscribed to. And then we got back to New Jersey, and like 6 months later, I was like, Doug, like, how's all that stuff going that you subscribe to? You got SmartZip, you got this tool, that tool. He's like, oh, like I haven't used like any of it yet. And I'm like, holy crap, like, so you mean to tell me you're like 7 to 10 grand in the hole and you haven't even used any of it? So the same thing I would say applies with BombBomb or any tool you're gonna use in your business is if you're gonna pay for it, if you're gonna make the commitment to using it, use it. And then, track whether you get it. I guess the nice thing with BombBomb is the tracking of engagement. So Deb, to answer the question, I don't know the exact rate of return, but I do get to see monthly how many people are opening my email, who clicks on the video, who clicks on my website. So there's some nice tracking on that, which is something that I appreciate, rather than so much of our communication, we put it out there and we don't know are people actually engaging with it. It's also a neat predictor and a really good way to follow up with people. Like the other day for Earth Day, PSE&G was giving away free Google Nests. So I saw that pop up and I was like, holy cow, like that's pretty cool. Like I've wanted a Google Nest. So I bought one, I got one for free. I put that out on my Facebook and I said, hey guys, just so you know, if you're a PSE&G customer, jump on this great deal, free Google Nest, make your home smarter, and also, do something good for the earth. And then I took that another step further and I blasted it out to my database through BombBomb with a quick video, just saying, hey, I just came across this. It's totally legit. If you want to take advantage, here's the link. I put a button link right in the email. And so now it's funny, like getting ready for this class was my impetus. I hadn't actually even gone back and seen, but I see, a certain number of people actually clicked on the link, So it might be a good follow-up phone call, a reason for me to engage with my database and say, hey, Daryl, I saw you clicked on the link, and Daryl is one of my current buyers. I was like, did you get that Google Nest so that you can use it in your new home when you close? Somebody that I, had a conversation with about listing her townhouse probably about 2.5, 3 months ago. She's not quite ready, but she clicked on that ad. So it gives me a good excuse to not just call her and say, hey, Sherelle, like, is it time to list yet? But hey, Sherelle, I saw you, did you take advantage of that free Google Nest? So it's just, again, a driving force for engagement is my way of viewing it. Now, if I was getting no business out of my database, I should probably retire out of the business, but also secondarily, I think I would probably reevaluate the kind of money that I was pouring into tools to communicate with my database. So what else are you guys curious about? Anything specific? All right, so then what I'll do is, just so you guys know, again, didn't really want this to be like a sales pitch for BombBomb. I personally find it to be a great tool, a great way to communicate with my database. If you guys are curious though, I did a little bit of research leading up to this call. There's something called Bonjoro, which basically describes itself as a great alternative to BombBomb at a cheaper price. And then in looking Bonjoro up, I came across something called Dubb, D-U-B-B, which pitches itself as a Bonjoro alternative. So just know that when it comes to, how you're engaging with your database, there are plenty of tools out there. And I would just go back to my, general message of, if you're going to pay for something, use it, and hold every penny, accountable. What kind of engagement do you get out of using those tools in your business? So. Oh. Deb, are you trying to talk there? Are you throwing up gang symbols? We can't hear you, Deb.
Rock, paper, scissors?
All right. Well, we lost Debs, but I hope you guys got something out of this. Feel free anytime you want, if you want to hit me up separately outside of the class and ask any questions about how I'm using this. And yeah, thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you. Bye.